Imagine this, 30 years after a tragedy that shook millions, new details suddenly come to light. Details about Selena Quintanilla, the Queen of Tex-Mex, whose story refuses to fade. Today, I'm going to walk you through what the newly resurfaced autopsy reveals, the confirmed cause of her death, and how a brand new Netflix documentary is reigniting global interest in her life. But stay with me, because what follows isn't just shocking. It's emotional, intimate, and deeply human. Selena's story is more than fame. It's family, identity, and legacy. And now, with the original 1995 forensic report once again in the spotlight, the truth is being revisited at a time when her own family is opening private archives never shown to the public before. Everything began on March 31st, 1995, when Selena arrived at the Days Inn Motel in Corpus Christi to confront Yolanda Saldivar. Minutes later, Saldivar fired a gun, striking Selena in the right shoulder. Even though Selena ran for help, bleeding heavily, the injury was devastating. The bullet didn't just hit her, it tore through vital structures, causing massive internal and external bleeding. Media pressure was so intense that an emergency autopsy was performed only 3 hours after her death. That report, sealed in time, is now being revisited, reminding the world of the tragic details and renewing conversations about what really happened in those final moments. The autopsy clearly documents the bullet's path. It entered through her back, passed through ribs, damaged the upper lobe of her lung, and exited through the front of her chest. It was a catastrophic wound. Although Saldivar insisted the shot was accidental, the ruling was unmistakable: homicide. Selena was only 23, yet her influence was already international. The forensic details not only explain why doctors couldn't save her, they also underline how sudden and irreversible the loss truly was. And while these findings resurface, something else is happening. Her life is being retold in a way audiences have never experienced before. Netflix has just released a documentary that fans are calling one of the most intimate portrayals ever made, Selena y los Dinos, A Family's Legacy. For the first time, the Quintanilla family has opened their personal archive, home videos, backstage footage, private recordings, and moments that show Selena beyond the stage lights. This isn't another retelling of the tragedy. Director Isabel Castro says the goal was to highlight Selena's joy, creativity, humor, and discipline. What you'll see is the real Selena, the one her family knew, a vibrant young woman who worked hard, laughed often, and charmed everyone around her. The film also reveals a truth fans always sensed, but had never seen so clearly. Selena's success was a family operation. Abraham, her father, shaped the band's path. Her brother A.B. crafted the sound that defined modern Tex-Mex. Suzette held down the rhythm as the band's drummer, and her mother, Marcella, grounded them all emotionally. In these newly released recordings, Selena shines as someone full of energy, determination, and authenticity. She embraced her Mexican-American identity with pride, and that identity wasn't just part of her appeal, it was a core element of the artist she became. One of the most compelling themes in the documentary is identity. Selena grew up balancing two cultures, just like millions of Latinos in the U.S. Sometimes criticized for not speaking perfect Spanish, she still stood firmly in who she was. Director Isabel Castro explains that seeing Selena embrace her identity without hesitation inspired an entire generation to do the same. That message is visible in every family clip. Selena laughing through mistakes, experimenting with outfits, rehearsing endlessly, or simply being herself. Her authenticity, more than anything, is what transformed her into a cultural icon for decades to come. While her story will always carry tragedy, this documentary insists on a different angle: the impact she left behind. Instead of focusing on the end, it highlights how Selena opened doors for young artists and became a point of representation for Latino audiences in the U.S. Her family's testimony shows how intentional her career path was, shaped by teamwork, passion, and love. And as new generations discover who she was, older fans are reconnecting with moments they haven't seen in years. The film reminds everyone that Selena wasn't just a star. She was a movement. Even 3 decades later, Selena continues to shape culture. Her music remains timeless, her fashion iconic, and her influence stronger than ever. That's why, alongside the Netflix release, the Grammy Museum will open a 2026 exhibit titled Selena, From Texas to the World. For the first time, items like her red Porsche, original stage outfits, personal photos, and awards will be displayed outside Texas. The exhibit is expected to draw crowds worldwide, offering another opportunity for fans to honor her life and introduce her story to younger audiences discovering her for the first time. But to fully understand her impact, many younger fans want clarity about what really happened the day she died. With so many myths circulating, the original forensic report becomes crucial. It confirms that the wound was fatal and immediate, leaving no room for rescue. Saldivar was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison. Though the pain of that day still lingers, the documentary shifts the focus back to Selena's life, talent, and spirit. By reopening their personal archive, the Quintanilla family invites the world to see Selena not through tragedy, but through truth, love, and legacy. And so, 3 decades later, Selena sings again, not on a stage, but through home videos, restored memories, and the voices of millions who refuse to let her fade. Her legacy continues to grow, evolving with each generation, while keeping the same warmth and brilliance she always carried. Learning the truth about her death reveals the heartbreak, but learning about her life reveals the power she left behind. If anything is clear today, it's that Selena never truly left. She's still here, inspiring, teaching, and connecting us, just as she did when she first stepped into the spotlight. Selena's legacy also continues through the people she inspired. Artists who grew up watching her perform with confidence, joy, and fearlessness. Many of today's biggest Latina stars credit Selena for teaching them that they didn't need to fit a mold to succeed. Her music pushed cultural boundaries. Her fashion redefined what stage presence looked like, and her charisma showed that authenticity was a superpower. And now, because of the new documentary and museum exhibit, young viewers who never lived during her era are discovering her for the first time. For them, Selena isn't just history. She feels alive, modern, and relevant all over again. As fans revisit the details of her life and the truth behind her death, something powerful happens. Selena stops being just a tragic headline and becomes a fully realized person once more. A daughter who laughed loudly, a sister who worked tirelessly, an artist who dreamed boldly. And that's why these new revelations matter. Not because they reopen old wounds, but because they help frame her story in a way that honors her humanity. The more the world learns, the clearer it becomes that Selena's voice, spirit, and cultural impact will never fade. In many ways, she's still leading the way.